gonna fuck the sodomites in the...
Warning, podcastrophe imminent. Join me, Dick, on a podcast about music, movies, television, all with a taste of metal. This is Podcastrophe.
Hi guys, it's me again. Dick here. Finally, making his triumphant return from sickness, my esteemed co-host.
I'm vegan.
Oh,
My vegetable-only diet brought me back from my sickness. And the fact that I bought all of Bitcoin. All of it.
all of it. Oh. I'm done with that.
Yeah, that was enough.
Welcome everybody to Podcastrophe episode 23. Also broadcasted live January 21st, 24th, 2018.
Nice try.
I tried. I failed. That's how things go sometimes.
That's life, man.
That is life. How you doing today, Tyler?
I'm doing a lot better. I'm still feeling a little bit of an aftermath from the sickness. But man, last week I was struggling. It was full on sinus infection everywhere, ear infection. I couldn't breathe. And, you know, the running gimmick of just kind of, you know, like the last 6-8 months is that I've just given up the will to live all the time. And here lately, especially, you and a lot of our coworkers and our good inner circle of friends have started to count my cries for help every day.
Yeah.
And last week, the week before, I had a record high for cries for help. And then, you know, it's kind of weird. The next couple days after that, I had like a record low for cries for help, and I was actually fighting for life. Because, like, I've kind of got this thing where I'm like an old Viking warlord. I'm just searching for something strong enough to take me out of this world that's obviously not myself. And I wasn't going to let that sickness do it. Because I was hurting. So...
Yeah, I remember. I actually mentioned last week on the episode with Yesterday's Chips, Dave and Tyler. Shout out to Yesterday's Chips, Dave and Tyler.
What's up, Dave and Tyler?
Thank you guys again for joining me last week. But I mentioned to them, I was like, yeah, Tyler had like 11 cries for help, and that's like an all-time high. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you had like 2 the next day.
Mm-hmm.
That was also crazy. I'm like, damn.
Highs and lows, man.
It's an ebb and flow.
That's right.
Highs and lows, ebbs and flows. Rhyme.
Hee hee.
Hee hee. All right, so we had another guest today, but he had to drop off last minute. It sucks, but you know that's how the game goes. And you know it kind of worked out because like you've been talking to me all week about this show and how like all these things that you want to talk about.
I have a lot of stuff to talk
yeah.
about, especially because I wasn't here last week. So
Yeah.
I've got a little bit from last week, and then I have a hard time a lot, especially, you know, we are obviously not old men by any means.
Yeah.
But here, the last couple years, you know, I have a pretty active imagination, and I'll get all these ideas of stuff I want to talk about or stuff I want to do, especially, you know, simple shit like I want to do this when I get home. And then, you know, not long ago, it was, I would never forget anything. And, you know, now with being a dad and a husband and, you know, the hustle and bustle of the fast-paced life that we all live, it's like that shit is just fleeting moments. I get the idea, and if I don't write it down or put it in my phone or ask somebody else to remind me later,
Yeah.
I'm going to forget it. So I've done a pretty good job this week of using my American privilege here on my cell phone and jotting a lot of this shit down.
Awesome. Yeah, I need to get better at doing that. But like I was saying, we were supposed to have a guest, and then you had all these ideas that you wanted to talk about, all these things you wanted to talk about, And I'm sitting here thinking, like, shit, like, is our guest going to be able to, like, actually talk about that stuff? And, you know, that's kind of the struggle of having a guest that isn't typically part of the show.
Right.
Like, so you got to kind of cater to the guests. You got with what they can and can't talk about. Because, like, we wanted to talk about, we went and saw Den of Thieves over the weekend. And we wanted to talk about that, but I don't think he's seen it. So I'm like, I don't want to have a guest on here and then just not be able to participate.
Well, and you definitely don't want to ruin a good experience for somebody else, too.
I've been trying to, like, adjust my mic stand, and...
I thought you were just playing with it.
No, like, it was just too tight, and, like, with, like, the way the cable is sitting, and it was just hard to do it without fucking with the cable.
Right.
So who knows? But, yeah. I've got a few things I want to talk about. I kind of discussed a little bit after work today. Well,
do you want to break into something first, or do
no?
you want...
I'll allow you to have the floor, pal.
Okay, so the first thing, you and I have talked about a little bit last week, the huge drug bust that came out of last week, I mean, it's just kind of hard to even fathom the 1 ton. So that's 2,000 pounds.
Yes, 2,000 pounds
of cocaine.
Cocaine
Found inside of pineapples. This was a bust made in Europe. I don't remember the actual country where they busted the load of pineapples, but this is 2,000 pounds of cocaine. That is a shit ton of cocaine.
Yes.
And what's even weirder is one of our coworkers, Eddie. He's like, yeah, man, that's how the cartels have always done it. Like,
like he knows.
And he was pretty confident. It's like, I've spent a lot of time in California and the southern U.S., like the American Southwest. A lot of states that border Mexico. And, I don't necessarily want to say the privilege, but I've seen a lot of interaction shit with the cartel. And, when you live in Southern California, you're pretty well aware of the cartel's doings around you, and not to be a part, or not to get involved. But he's like, yeah, man, they put it in the pineapples or the fruit, so if the drug dog comes up to it and hits on it, then if they can't find it right away, then they just think that the dog is hitting on whatever the food source is, and that's really, really freaking clever. And it just compounds into all this other stuff because, heritage aside, a lot of people right now will say, well, we're in the Middle East to stop terrorism. And, then comes the big talks about, well, we're there to secure the oil, and all of that is not incorrect. But the biggest reason we're in the Middle East right now, primarily in Afghanistan, is to secure the opium trade.
Yeah.
Afghanistan is the #1 opium producing country in the world. They produce more opium, so they grow more poppies than like 90% of the rest of the earth combined. That is a shit ton of opium producing plants.
Yes.
That then, that opium turns into heroin and is spread all over the world. But who buys more drugs than anyone else in the world? Well, the U.S. and Europe. So that's
big farm.
That's not just the pharmaceutical companies, but the war on drugs that we created and that we continue to fund. And so I just thought it was nuts, though. Number one, that it's a miracle that whatever agency or whatever organization caught this 2,000 pounds of cocaine.
2,000 pounds of cocaine.
But think of Brandon talked about a huge heroin bust here in the U.S. today, and it was like $10 million worth of heroin.
Yeah, inside a car, right?
Inside a car, yep. So think about how much the street value of 1 ton of cocaine.
I know. I was, I can't remember. I feel like, so this last Friday, I recorded episode 22, but I don't remember a lot of it because I'd been drinking,
right? And
we played Cards Against Humanity, so not a lot. It wasn't very topical. It was more just like, hey, we're playing Cards Against Humanity,
right?
But I can't remember if I brought this subject up or not. So if I'm repeating myself, sorry, but like when I saw that article, I had two thoughts. One, somebody's fucking pissed.
Yeah, no
Somebody
shit.
out there is fucking pissed because 2 tons of their cocaine is just
Was it
gone.
was it 2 tons or 1
Or
ton?
no, sorry, 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. Numbers mixed up
Gotcha.
again. I'm number dyslexic. And 2, as soon as I get off work, I'm gonna go to Walmart or Payless and just buy all the
bunch of
fucking pineapples. I'm buying them all. We had just got paid that day, so I'm
That's
like,
right.
I have money. I'm buying all the. I'll make it back.
Well, so you made the comment that somebody is pissed. Absolutely, somebody is fucking
yeah.
mad.
And there's probably at least 32 people dead.
The fucking terrifying thing about the cartels, you know, all the shit that they do is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they kidnap people. They put them in 55-gallon drums and then fill the drum with like hydrochloric acid or caustic, which is sodium hydroxide, which is incredibly detrimental to your skin and your body. If you get caustic in your eye, it instantly blinds you. When you get caustic on your skin, the feeling is very slimy because what's actually happening
Dissolving your skin.
it's not just dissolving your skin, it's taking the fat that's ingrained in your skin and your body and turning it into soap. So if you remember back to the if you remember back to the scene in the Fight Club, the stuff that he dumps on Edward Norton's hand is caustic.
Yeah.
So he's turning Edward Norton's hand, a portion of his hand, into soap. So that's fucking nuts, man. Don't fuck with cartels.
No, I had no intention of it. Yeah, it's so much cocaine. So much cocaine.
But it's just nuts that they caught it.
Yeah.
You know, because if you think about it, they caught 1 ton of cocaine in this shipment of pineapples or fruit or whatever it was. Think about how many other shipments of pineapples or whatever media that they're using to traffic this cocaine. Think about how many of those went uncaught.
Yeah.
You know, that's nuts.
That's so much cocaine.
Fucking cocaine and pineapples, man.
I still want to try to go out and buy some.
You walk into Walmart, y'all got any of them cocaine pineapples?
The way I look at it, I'll just be. Everybody's like, "Hey, you doing Powerball this week? Doing Powerball?" No, I'm actually gonna go to Walmart and buy a pineapple. It's like a new lottery. It's a
Right.
new lottery.
No shit.
You go buy a pineapple. Maybe you're a winner. Most likely you're not gonna be. But if you are a winner, well, then you have another choice. Do you turn it in? Do you use it?
Call up a couple hookers and
Do you fucking take a few bumps?
So you've got the blow, you just need the hookers.
Yeah. You take a few bumps, or you try to sell it yourself.
I think if I secured a large amount of any super illegal drug, you know, all drugs are super illegal, but if I secured a
Hard drugs.
thank you. If I secured a large amount of hard drugs, I would definitely secure a middleman, especially because, you know, I don't want the DEA kicking down my front door like, you bought that shipment of pineapples and we taking you away. It's like, no, man, I just bought a pineapple. I know the dude down the street, he bought them all. You know, like, I bought those fucking things at the farmer's market.
Farmer's market with pineapples. Oh my god.
Excuse me.
Oh shit. So is that all for the pineapple discussion?
Yeah, I thought that would be
Oh my God.
kind of a good comical thing to,
Yeah,
to start the night off
That's a
with.
good start. I have something real quick.
Lay it on us.
Earlier this afternoon, today, whenever Brews with Dudes host Nick Maxon,
Okay.
he shared a video, and I don't know if I really wanted to get into a big discussion on the subject, but I thought it was a really interesting video.
Okay.
The subject is net neutrality,
All right.
and a lot of people are really confused about the subject of net neutrality. And so this video kind of, in a sense, what they did was they experimented with a Burger King
Okay.
to kind of try to make people see it in a different light. or not in a different light, but like in terms they can understand. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and watch that.
Okay. Yeah, real quick while he's getting the video pulled up. Net neutrality, don't get me wrong. I'm just a regular guy, and I do my best to stay not involved in politics and a lot of the stuff that's going on. Net neutrality is a big freaking deal, folks.
Yeah.
So
It really is.
watch this video, do your own research, educate yourself, because this is not something that we want to go away.
With net neutrality, some people, for what it's worth, just,
I don't know exactly what it is.
Got a number one? Hey, how you doing?
number 98, what's going on with it?
Number 98, you got the Whopper?
Yeah.
So you got the slow access Whopper pass?
Wait,
It's on the menu right there, the fast, medium, and slow. Slow MBPS, fast MBPS, or hyper fast MBPS. MBPS, of course, standing for making burgers per second.
So if we want a Whopper now, we have to pay $26.
Well, that's how you get it fast. That's the highest priority.
This is like a lane
It's
system.
gonna be like 15, fast lane, slow lane. So like maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
What are you talking about?
The corporation believes that they can sell
That lady was fucking pissed.
chicken sandwiches and chicken fries, and now they're slowing down the access to the Whopper. Were you given an option of chicken sandwich or
I don't want a chicken sandwich. I really want a Whopper.
Do you have any Whoppers ready that are?
Yeah. The sandwich is ready. I'm just not allowed to actually give it to
What?
you.
You can't give me the sandwich? It's ready, but you can't give it to me?
Whopper neutrality was repealed. They voted on it.
Whopper what?
Fortunately, I had no other choice.
Oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever heard of.
See, like, he got the fast, and now he's getting his
Are you kidding me? You paid $26 for a Whopper?
Yeah, he ordered it. Now he's a higher priority, so. If,
Oh, guys, I want a burger, man.
if you'd like, if
This
you
is a bad dream right now. I just want a burger, brother. A burger.
Booger. I want a booger.
here's what I'll do. You have the bag, and I can put it in the bag in 42 seconds. Hold on. 10 seconds. You don't make the rules.
You just enforce these ridiculous rules?
Fortunately, we have to.
I felt like I was being taken advantage of in a sense. Just as a customer coming in to get their food, it felt like a power move.
They already changed the policies overnight or whatever.
I didn't think that ordering a Whopper would really open my eyes up to net neutrality. The Whopper actually told me about net neutrality. It's stupid, but true.
Yep.
That's a very well done video.
Yeah, it was posted by Burger King. So there's the credit due there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Like I said, it's a very well done video. Obviously, they spent the money on
Yeah, it's
the
Burger
production
King.
value.
It's Burger King. They have the cash.
Um,
It's really cool. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're all right.
I mean, I sit there and ask you your thoughts, and here I am.
No, you're all right.
It's really cool that Burger King's on it.
Well, I mean, it's weird to think that, a lot of us complain about certain companies over marketing, and, we complain about a lot of different things as people. It's kind of cool that a major corporation like Burger King is getting involved to try and educate us.
Yeah.
Not just their consumer, but just, they're people like us. And they're going to be affected just the same as we are if net neutrality, fully gets repealed and goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm really glad that you showed me that. I hope everybody kind of takes the same thing away from it that I did, that, just go through and educate yourself, don't, as much as we rely on the internet to teach us things, do your due diligence and do the research and educate yourself.
Definitely.
Because like I said, net neutrality is a big freaking deal.
Oh, yeah. Brandon Stone comments on the live feed. Hi, Brandon, host and co-host of Journey into Comics, Journey into Wrestling, and Game Addicts. How you doing, Brandon? He says, the only way to fight corporate money is with corporate money.
You know, that's sad.
It's sad,
but it's very true.
Dun, dun, dun,
You know, this is why I'm a big proponent of Thunderdome and anarchy in general. Because think about it, you know, they say, you know, net neutrality's gone. Well, I'm going to challenge whoever decided to push the removal of net neutrality to Thunderdome, and if I kill him in armed combat, fight to the death, we get to keep net neutrality.
So you want to challenge the head of the FCC?
Yeah, I'll challenge that fucker right now.
I don't remember his name.
He's a douche.
Yeah, he is a douche. He's a giant douche.
He's a giant
everything
doucher.
I've said, or everything I've seen of him, every little quote, and just every picture, he's just this giant fucking douchebag.
I'll challenge that fucker to Thunderdome right now.
I'll challenge him to Thunderdome.
I'll fucking wreck him.
We'll both wreck him.
Yes. Heritage.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah, there we go. I'm normally not bad at high fives.
I'm really bad with my left hand.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, next subject, go.
All right,
Let's do this. We're just gonna rattle them off.
All right. Well, the quick one that I have off the top of my head before I pull my list back up, I kind of got this idea a little bit. There's an actor that you and I both really appreciate.
Yes.
And we've talked about quite a bit, even on the podcast. But in your opinion, what are your two most underappreciated actors in Hollywood? And I'm not talking like the Baldwin brothers doing their 75th B movie. And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from the Baldwin brothers' acting talents, because they are a talented group of guys. But what are your two most underappreciated actors in Hollywood?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've never really thought of that. I'm always, when I think underrated, I always think of musicians, because I'm a music guy. So like underrated musicians, I would say Mark Tremonti.
Okay.
You know who that is?
No.
He started as guitarist for Creed.
Okay.
Alter Bridge, and now he has his own his solo act, which is Tremonti.
Okay.
Super underrated guitarist.
All right, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
now.
I love Mark Tremonti. Incredible guitarist. But underrated actors?
Well, okay.
Shit.
Let me tell you my two.
Go for it.
Because I almost guarantee the one that I'm going to say first is also one of the ones that you would say. Carl Urban.
Okay. He wouldn't be on my list, but yeah, I agree.
Well, think about it. All the movies that Carl Urban has done, what movie has he been cast as the major A-list lead, the hero or the savior or whatever, what have you, other than Pathfinder, what movie, or Doom, what movie has he really been cast as the main character?
The main guy.
The guy.
He really hasn't.
And that's the point, or part of the reason I wanted to bring this up, because Carl Urban, in my opinion, is one of the best supporting actors in Hollywood. He's amazingly talented. He has the ability, to do his own thing and to take charge and kind of steal the show.
Yeah.
But he's never really needed to, because he's done such a good job as a supporting actor.
I'm just waiting for Jacob Wells to pop up in here, because he seems to always pop up when we're talking about movies. He was complaining about this.
Movie cast.
Yeah, he's like, he says, hey, let's you should change the name of your podcast to Movie Talk. That's what he said. Movie
He's such
Talk.
a little douche.
I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're 20. How old is he?
19.
He's 19 years old. You're not even a real fucking person. You're not a real person.
He could be 40 and he's not a real person.
Yeah, that's fair. If he never changes his ways.
But, a little bit more on Carl Urban, he's done a lot of interesting projects. You look at just, and I'm not saying that these movies or these projects that he was involved in were very good.
Yeah.
But you look at Doom, you know, the video game movie thing has kind of been shit on since it started. You know, nobody has done a really good job with a video game movie. But I thought he played a good character in Doom. And then you go to Pathfinder. That movie was terrible. But the premise, the idea behind the movie,
Yeah, I
that
like
movie
that.
could have been really, really good.
Now, was that based off like a comic or a book or anything like that?
I'm not sure if it was based on anything. I think maybe it was an original idea.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of based on actual history. You know,
Yeah, of course.
We've proven that Scandinavians were the first explorers, we should say, to venture onto our continent that we live on.
Yes.
But I when that movie was first trailered or marketed, I thought that, you know, this is a really cool concept, and, you know, it's got fucking Carl Urban in it.
Yeah.
And this is going to be really good, and then, you know, you watch it and it's total shit. But other than Star Trek, I feel like, which he did a fantastic job. I don't know that you could have cast anybody better as Bones.
He did such an awesome job as Bones. Like, holy shit.
But other than that, you know, what movie franchise or just movie in general has he really been in that had a super high production value? I don't know of any.
Yeah, there's
He
not
did
many.
he did a Western in the early 2000s, Comanche Moon, which is a prequel to the Lonesome Dove series, the miniseries. I liked Comanche Moon. I thought that was one of his better movies. But, you know, and then you have Priest. He played the kind of pseudo-antagonist. Did you ever see Priest?
Priest, that's the one.
The vampire post-apocalyptic movie.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that.
It's one of the better standalone science fiction movies to come out of.
You said Priest. For whatever reason, my mind went to the movie Legion.
It's very similar to that.
Yeah, that might be why I thought
so
of
the
it.
angel in Legion is the main character in Priest.
Interesting.
I can't ever remember that actor's name. He plays Vision
Yeah,
in Avengers.
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany, thank you. So he was the former priest that fought alongside Paul Bettany's character in that movie, which is based off a comic or graphic novel series. And then, you know, he was captured by vampires and turned to the dark side. And I thought he played a really good villain. And I just think, you know, I kind of sound like a super Carl Urban fanboy right now, but I feel like there's no reason that Carl Urban couldn't have done, what was that movie that DiCaprio did and finally got his Oscar?
Oh, The Revenant?
The Revenant. I don't see any reason why Carl Urban couldn't have been cast as that character and done just as good a job as DiCaprio.
Right, because, I mean, DiCaprio, of all the movies to get nominated for the Oscar, that one...
I didn't really care. I liked the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie, but, like, DiCaprio didn't do shit except
Right.
for moan and crawl around the whole movie.
Right.
Like...
He just showed emotional anguish and terror the entire movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but I wouldn't say anybody could do that, but it's just...
And I use that as an example just because of what you just said about DiCaprio, you know, of all movies that he gets nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, like he should have got Wolf of Wall Street.
Right, no doubt.
Hands down.
But I feel like Carl Urban's just kind of been shorted and not been given the credit where it's due.
He has an opportunity, if they do it, to be a main villain, and that is in a new Riddick movie.
And I forgot about Vaco.
Yeah.
Fantastic job.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to go ahead and into my next one, or do you want to throw one out there?
Before you do, Journey into Comics has commented on the live feed and says, if Tyler and Dick were Thor and Banner on Sakaar, who would be who?
I would be Banner.
Really?
Yeah.
You're giving me Thor.
I'm giving
me Thor.
I'm giving you Thor because, number one, the Hulk is my favorite superhero of all time. And number two, there is thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times every day of my life over the last 15 years where if I could have turned into a giant green hulking man and smashed everything around me, I would have.
That's fair. I guess I would identify more as Thor, anyways. I mean, you got my devilish good looks. I'm really funny.
That's right.
Sometimes.
Who would have ever thought that Chris Hemsworth could be that funny?
Oh, dude.
You know,
Chris Hemsworth is
on a
fucking
tangent
hilarious.
here. You know, when he first started coming into mainstream movies, I never would have cast him in a comedy. I never would have imagined him being a good comedian, and he does a fantastic job.
You're reading these comments.
Dick like smoldering fire.
Tyler like raging fire.
Yes.
Dick like smoldering fire.
Yes. Thor Ragnarok, such a good
Such
fucking
a
movie.
fucking
They did such a
great
good job
movie.
with that.
Oh yeah, like just so much comedy in that movie, so much improv. Hats off to them.
Here's another Nate Phillips comment. Can I challenge him to the Grandmasters Contest of Champions? Fuck yes, you can. After I kill him in Thunderdome. Anyway, so who you got for your underappreciated actors?
Oh man, I had it. I would say Ezra Miller. I like him a lot.
Okay.
Because I've seen him in a few movies.
Such as?
Well, the first movie I saw him in was Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Mm-hmm.
I like all sorts.
That
of
was kind of an
movies.
indie hit, wasn't it?
It is. It had Emma Watson.
Okay.
And it's all based off of like there's a lot of like David Bowie songs and like older
okay.
older indie. Like
I think I've seen it. I
radio
just
hits
can't
and
really
shit.
remember it.
It's a really good movie, and you know Ezra Miller plays like this gay character, fits the role. I mean, he can play that role spot on. I don't know if he is gay or not, but
Not that it matters.
yeah, it doesn't matter at all. But like, no, he played that role really well. He was great as Barry Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Albeit it was a different Barry Allen than what I'm used to with Grant Gustin, and I liked it, but it was different. It was not my favorite, but it was. He played what he needed to play.
From what little bit I have seen from Justice League, and then we get a couple snippets in like Suicide Squad, when we're getting introduced to Captain Boomerang. I agreed with you. You know, we've talked about this a little bit. If I were going to cast somebody as Flash, it definitely wouldn't be him.
I was very. When I saw it, I was like, okay, I can see this happening.
See, and I was the complete opposite. I was like,
And then once I saw the movie, I was like, that was a bit different than I expected.
I'm personally, I'm a bigger fan of Marvel comics than I am DC. So, unfortunately, I've kind of not given DC the Warner Brothers movies their due regard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I waited a long time to see Wonder Woman. I think the only two movies that I saw in theaters so far have been BVS and Suicide Squad.
Okay.
So I've seen snippets from Justice League. It's definitely going to be one that I, just buy on Blu-ray when it comes out and then watch it at home when I have time.
I believe it's worth a purchase, honestly.
Well, and from the snippets that I've seen and from the people that I've talked to, you and Brando, and my uncle saw it, like the first week that it came out, and he didn't give it super high reviews, but he hasn't any of them, and I've said this many times on all the podcasts that I've been on, as long as I'm entertained, as long as I can justify spending the $10 or whatever it is for a movie ticket, why would I complain about it? So I look forward to seeing the full movie when I do, and from what I have seen, I think they did a really good job with the cast of Justice League. I've said it many times now. I feel like they nailed Ben Affleck as Batman. I really like Batfleck, and I also really like Henry Cavill as Superman. And Batman and Superman are my two least favorite superheroes. So if they did a good enough job casting to make me interested in the characters again, why would I not watch it? So
it was really funny going through like my Facebook memories like a couple months ago, and on there it finally came to the day where Ben Affleck was announced as Batman, and and of course like me being me and me being part of the many. everybody just flipped their shit, and they're like, "Are you kidding me? Did you not see Daredevil? Like, he's gonna fucking suck."
Well,
he's gonna...
what? Not just Daredevil. Look at Geely.
Yeah,
you
but-
know,
well, in
arguably
the
one of
realm
the worst movies of all time.
Yes. In regards to just superheroes, though, like Daredevil, like, ugh. But then they released the first image of him as Batman, and I was like, I'm interested. But it's funny how your opinion shifts, and like I was basing everything off of Daredevil,
Right.
and I actually liked I actually have always liked Ben Affleck, but Daredevil's terrible. I haven't seen Geely because I don't want to see.
Oh,
Geely.
good God, it's bad.
As for my other underrated actor, I'm pretty torn because I'm looking at my pop vinyl army in front of me, and I got two choices. I got either T.J. Miller,
Okay.
who is just hysterically funny, off the cuff, almost 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. Like, he's just hysterically funny. Like, fucking hilarious. I love the guy. And then you got Nick Offerman.
Okay.
Not in enough stuff, which is okay. Quality over quantity, you know?
Right.
I don't want to get burnt out on Nick Offerman or T.J. Miller. So I'm okay with them kind of being under the radar, not mega stars.
I feel you.
But Nick Offerman, he has this ability to play this like really stoic, like hard ass.
And he does it very well.
But he's such a goofball.
Right.
He like when he flips the switch, he becomes a total goofball, and you just if you've never seen Parks and Recreation, I highly recommend it because he plays the character Ron Swanson. And,
I would say watch Parks and Rec just for Ron Swanson.
Oh, definitely.
You know, not to mention you've got Chris Pratt thrown in there too. So fucking watch Parks and
the
Rec.
whole cast is great. I mean, you cycle through your favorite characters very, very often because like you think, oh, this character's annoying, but oh well, this guy's hilarious, and then you actually start to like the characters you hate, and then suddenly you can't decide. Who do you love more? Do you love fucking Andy Dwyer or fucking Aziz Ansari?
Right.
Or Gary, who changes his name like 5 times in the show.
Amy Poehler's really good.
Oh,
too.
Amy Poehler's always awesome. She's hilarious. She's just so ridiculous with her acting.
Well,
that,
and-
like I can't favorite her really.
She's so calm about it.
Yeah, because it just seems so natural.
That's right.
It fits her face. Mm-hmm. her psychotic nature just fits her face.
Mm-hmm. I feel you there.
Yeah.
So my other actor is Sam Worthington.
Holy shit! I was thinking about him while we were discussing Carl Urban.
So Sam Worthington
I love you too, Dave Linder.
has done a few movies. Brandon and I were talking about this the other day. Like, what the hell happened to Sam Worthington? You know, he did Avatar. That was his first big break in Hollywood. You know, the highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah.
Worldwide. Many times over.
Uh-huh.
And then he did Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans, and then just fucking disappeared.
He did Terminator Salvation.
That's true. I forgot about that.
He also did. Oh,
And
man,
see, and that's
he did
sad.
on Man on a Ledge, and that movie was. I liked it.
I haven't seen it. Terminator Salvation is one of my favorites in the series.
Honestly, yeah, I loved that movie.
Well,
I saw it twice in theaters.
I really loved his character. The
Yeah.
prototype Terminator. That was really fucking cool.
Dude, yeah, I loved everything about. And you know, my friend Justin, he just shits all over Sam Worthington.
Really?
He used to, and he'd be like, he'd try to be like, yeah, I'm Sam Worthington. I'm a total badass. Check it out. I'm gonna do this running jump thing, and he would just but that was just who Justin is.
Right.
He likes he is one of those people that if he doesn't like something, he will shit all over it.
Whether it's justified or not.
Yeah, and it like I remember tangent a little bit. I remember when Five Finger Death Punch came out with their CD, Wrong Side of Heaven, Righteous Side of Hell.
Right.
And I was just sitting in the living room with my good old friend Scott, jamming it out, like listening to it for like the first time. Or I think it was the first time I listened to it with Scott. I had already listened to it. But,
Great album, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I love that album. It's one of the last good ones by them. But, so we're just sitting there listening to it, and here comes Justin. He's hanging out for a little bit, and he's just listening. And after Ivan Moody, the singer, like finished singing a line, Justin goes, "Dad." It's because he has this he had this like thing about heavy metal music. Like he liked it. That's the funny thing. He actually liked some heavy music, but he had this thing where anything that was kind of angry, he always just made it seem like it was about them whining about their dads. It's like the general stereotype of fucking metal. And I'm like, you are such a cunt. If you watch this, Justin, I hated you for that shit.
Sorry about you. But anyway, back to Sam Worthington.
I love Sam Worthington.
I know there was a movie that came out, I want to say 2016. It was, I hate to use the chick flick term, but it wasn't a movie that I would have went and seen in theaters or even, purchased to see in my home, just from what I saw in the trailer. And other than that, and I don't even remember the title of it, he just fucking disappeared.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if it's, I did Avatar, and, I made enough money to buy Hollywood from Avatar, and now I really don't need to do anything else. Mm-hmm. And Clash and Wrath of the Titans were both really bad.
I liked Clash. Wrath sucked.
They both sucked. I mean, they were cool little action flicks, but they just weren't very good.
No, they weren't.
And then, like I said, he just disappeared, and I would really like to see him come back.
He is actually in a Netflix miniseries right now, or that just came out like not long ago. I don't know how long ago it came out, with another actor we brought up today, Paul Bettany.
Really?
It's called I can't remember what it's called. It's about the Unabomber. It's about the real story of the Unabomber.
That's right. Yeah, I remember when that was airing on TV. Okay.
Oh, that was on TV?
Yes.
Cool.
I think it was, I want to say A&E, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I started watching it. I ended up falling asleep, and like 5 episodes went by. So,
yeah, I remember I planned on recording it, and then I think I just never set my TV to record it, and then I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
He's like the agent that's trying to hunt down the Unabomber.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, okay.
I can't remember. There's something special about like why they picked him to do it, but I'll probably finish it. I need to, because I like Sam Worthington and I like Paul Bettany.
Yeah, definitely. So,
you know where the first time I saw Paul Bettany?
Where's that?
A Knight's Tale.
See, and that's we can talk about Paul Bettany for a minute. He has done so many different types of characters.
Yeah.
And he does a great job every time. You look at A Knight's Tale, one of my favorite movies of all time, one of Heath Ledger's best movies I think he ever did. You look at A Knight's Tale and they nailed that fucking cast. Every member of that cast is constantly giving something and filling their role, and they do it 100%, and they all feed off of each other. And then, you get introduced to Paul Bettany's character not very far into the movie, and then he makes the rest of the fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
You get all the emotional stuff from Heath Ledger and his character and his family, or his character's family, and, him rising above his station. And then you've just got Paul Bettany right there the whole time, nailing it home.
Yeah. And the other two characters who went on, one of them, the bigger guy, I can never remember his name. He went on to do the show Still Standing.
I really liked that show.
And then he was Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones.
That's right.
Like, shit, I didn't even recognize him until someone pointed it out. I'm like, what? And this was like a couple years after I had already watched it.
Right.
I was like, holy shit, that is him.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. And then the other guy
was Walsh in Firefly and Serenity.
Yes, but do you know what else he was? He was have you seen Rogue One?
Yeah.
He was the robot.
Oh, that's right.
He was the fucking
K2SO.
Yeah, K2SO. He was that guy, and I was watching the making of it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And he did a really.
Don't you like it how we have so many actors that we like and we can't ever remember their fucking names?
Yes, but we can remember their characters at least.
Like back to the Sam Worthington thing. I think for like a solid 6 months, I called him Sam Washington. because I couldn't fucking ever remember his name.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel
He's
L.
not Samuel L. He's Samuel Jackson.
I will forever call him Samuel L. And I say it like that every time. Samuel L.
Samuel Jackson.
There you go.
Yeah.
English. Do you speak it?
Moving on, I actually had a subject. I had some fun Facebook happenings happen today.
All right, lay it on us.
I already told you about it. I'm going to go ahead and get this prepared in my little live feed here. But basically, I had a friend post a status, and she said, I found it. She says, I still can't watch anything with Robin Williams without crying. So then the fun started. Very first comment. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up on the screen. Sorry if names get shown and they don't want their name shown. My bad. Probably won't. I just don't have the ability to censor shit out since I don't have a full fucking production crew. But here we go. Gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so the very first comment from Mr. Jimmy Mcclary.
This guy's a Captain Doucher 9000, by the way. Oh, yeah.
He says, you know how he died, don't you? Great grammar already. Abby says, yes. And then I come in, I said, what does that matter? Shows he was a freak. You obviously only know what MSM told you a while ago. I don't know what MSM is, but okay. MSN. Whatever. I go, that's cool. I love people who judge people they don't know based off the little piece of the picture they can see from outside the window they're looking through. Jimmy responds, and I love how people put other people up on a pedestal they've never met because they seen them in a movie. The sick fuck died jacking off as he had a belt tied around his neck. So yeah, go ahead and act like you're some intellect when you are just a moron. Let me guess. You are just a moron. Let me guess. You like pedophiles too.
Oh yeah, we love them.
Oh yeah. I say, careful, your intelligence is showing, and then my next comment was just a thumbs up. Next comment, he's a sick fuck for jacking off. Don't act like you don't touch your own dick. He says, no, I do that shit daily, but to hang myself up with a belt around my neck as I jack off kind of makes him a sick fuck. But hey, please, let's hear more from you.
This guy's such a douche.
We all have our own fetishes. He says, I guess so. Next person says, so because someone hangs themselves with a belt, it suddenly means they were jerking it? People like you are why our president thinks he's a genius.
This next comment's the best one.
Oh, yeah, here he goes. Jimmy Mcclary. No, jackass. Because someone hung themselves while jacking off. Maybe research before opening your mouth. And by the way, President Trump is a genius.
That in itself says it right there.
Yep.
Why this guy's a douche. Whether you support Trump or not, he is not a fucking genius.
The veil has been lifted. We know this person now.
Right.
We officially know what we're getting into at this point. And you know, I'm not gonna read all of the comments. Just this is just the initial.
One of the highlights though is the source that he's citing.
Hold on, I'm gonna get there.
Okay. I'll let you do it.
So the original poster, Miss Abby, she says, I can't find an article or anything about his death besides him committing suicide. Also, haven't laughed so hard in years, but you calling our president a genius did the trick, so thank you for giving me a good laugh again. The next comment is Mr. Jimmy Mcclary. He posts a link. Where does that link lead? IGN.com. This is his news source.
IGN is the mecca of credible news sources.
Let's look at this. It's on a message board. It's not even an actual news article on IGN. Message board. The subject is Robin Williams died doing a David Carradine. It seems. First post. The first post on the thing says, according to some sources, Robin was wanking it when he bought the farm. He is now studying kung fu with some guy in the afterlife. And it's like, literally, like, this Jimmy Mcclary.
I like how you announce his name.
Jimmy Mcclary decides that this is a refutable source of news. Like, this is a refutable news source that he can, like, base all of his fucking knowledge off of.
I'm glad that you brought this up when you did, because this is going to bring me into my next topic. This is why we need a giant meteor to smack the fucking earth and extinguish all human life. This right here. This guy is setting out to ruin somebody's day for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
And his justification is that he's a fucking idiot.
Yes. I'm going to get more into Mr. Jimmy Mcclary here in a bit, but let's continue reading.
Okay.
So there's a really long comment. I'm not really going to... Okay, I'll go ahead. And Jimmy Mcclary, she tags this person. The research I did stems all the way back to the 2nd grade, and it's called learning to read. The next step you'll need to get through this dilemma is learning that what refutable is and how to identify an actual news source, aka not a message board type Tumblr. Actually, let's back up. Did you know they teach classes on how to use internet? If you message me, I can totally help you sign up for one. And then most of that link is people disputing the original poster on not having any evidence. And it was IGN, so like, what are you doing?
Yo, why are we on an IGN message board talking about Robin Williams jacking off to
I
death?
don't know. But Mr. Jimmy Mcclary says, oh, this is where it really gets funny. And I'll comment on this comment here in a second. Jimmy Mcclary says, I forgot the internet only works for liberals. When they want to find something, when they want to find something,
there's supposed to be a period there.
Yeah. And then he says GTFOH, which I'm assuming...
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. He goes on to say, you go ahead and jack off to what Robin did. Normal people think that's sick, and we see that you think it's okay, so we now know where your morals lay, or lack of morals.
What a douche.
He goes on. He ends up going on, and like, nobody has said anything about their political leanings. Nothing on the political leanings and their political views. But he immediately throws out the L word, the liberals. We are apparently all liberals now. So, next comment. Like, I'll hear you out if you find an actual article or something, but I use IGN for game walkthroughs, so I'm not going to trust much real-world info from there. LMAO. LMAO. The Mayo.
Mayo.
Oh, so normal is conservative, ignorant, and uneducated? Well, since you like articles so much and want to discuss the sickness of people by their supporting morals, let's check out that president you obviously voted for and think is a genius. She ends up going to post like several articles on
sexual allegations against Trump.
Just Trump himself. Mr. Jimmy Mcclary says, El Mayo, you liberals tried to buy those women's stories already been debunked. Funny you only heard from these women at certain times, then they just disappear. Keep reaching. I go on to say, this is gold. I can't wait to put this on blast on my show tonight. Podcastrophe live at 6 p.m.
Nice tag there.
Oh, hell yeah. You shouldn't always believe what you see online. I'm not trying to be rude or argue. I'm just pointing out that a lot of articles can be fake. Same with news.
Fake
Well,
news.
Lisa says, well, anyway, Jimmy, have fun eating your Tide Pods. Jimmy Mcclary, that's you liberals thing. I'm good. I'll clean the brown stains in the washing machine. What? And here I come.
Get in there nice
I come
and
back
deep
in.
like and scrub, boy.
I had already, my last real comment on the thing was, like your intelligence is showing. Thumbs up. Or whatever I said. And that was going to be my last comment. and I thought this was over because that comment happened yesterday. This all happened today. So like yesterday, after I made my last comment, I messaged the original poster. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk shit in your thing, so that's gonna be my last post. I wasn't expecting all this to happen, so of course I had to jump back in. I say, you keep throwing that word liberal around. I'm a conservative that works for his livelihood, and I still think you're an inbred moron. Me being a conservative, I lean more in the middle. I have conservative views, I have liberal views. It just depends on the subject.
And I don't believe in government, so...
He's anarchy. So, Miss Lisa goes on to post, like, a giant book.
That's a huge fucking comment.
Yeah, and, like, she just rips him to shreds. And
Jimmy Mcclary!
Jimmy Mcclary doesn't even respond to it yet. He says, well, Dick, he actually got the correct, he still got that correct, so I'm happy he did that. That's a point on him. Good job, Jimmy Mcclary.
Gold star for you, Jimmy.
Well, Dick, you're a little bitch, so I guess we're even.
God damn.
This fucking idiot. I say, clever insult, thumbs up. Again, your ability to show intellect is astounding. He ends up, before he responds to me again, he responds to the giant book and says, El Mayo, Lisa, you're tearing me apart! No. You actually think that you posted something intellectual is laughable. There was no suicide note, but you keep believing the mainstream media telling you Hillary was going to win. Oh, wait, I skipped a line. You still believe the mainstream media, that the same media that had your panties wet when they kept telling you Hillary was going to win, El Mayo. How did all that go? But again, you go ahead and listen to Snopes and the likes all believe the truth. And that's when it dawned upon me. And what dawned upon me is what I commented next. But before I commented, he managed to sneak one in. He says, yeah, I know, Dick, your insult of me was much more intellectual. GTFOH. I've never seen anybody actually throw the H on the end.
I haven't either.
So there's another point on you. You're boggling my mind with that. So the realization I made, and I commented, you listen to Alex Jones, don't you? Because now he's all about not believing the mainstream media. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh,
he's staying woke.
Yeah, he's staying woke. Miss Lisa comes back. Jimmy Mcclary. Oh, I'm sorry. Which of us has worked for a media news outlet and which of us hasn't? It is laughable to me you think you know what the word intellect means. I almost feel upon giving you a vocabulary list for you to look up and report back. Here's your first word, contradiction. Let me use an example. Dear blank, I read online false information, and to support my false information, I told other people the information they read online was false information. My information is true, and theirs is not, because mine was online and theirs was online. Where exactly do you think you're getting your ideas from? I would love to hear how you're verifying your opinion that you've not been able to provide supporting information for. Oh, wait, you can't. Contradiction. So you've chosen childish insults because you're trapped in a corner of your own stupidity.
Eating Tide Pods.
I comment, this is going to be a real fun topic on the show tonight. And that was basically the end of it. Like, yeah, nothing else came on. He hasn't responded back. So.
Jimmy Mcclary. R.I.P.
Mr. Jimmy Mcclary is done for the day. He'll come back tomorrow. I know he will. But it blows my mind because, like, after reading all that, like, I wasn't gonna talk. I originally messaged her and I said, "Hey, I'm not gonna talk shit. Like, I don't want to blow up your feed with that shit." And because I was trying to be respectful to her, and maybe it was her friend and whatever.
Right.
But the more I read into it, I'm like, there's no way she is friends with this person. Like, if you look at her, like, she's got like piercings all over her face. Nothing against that. But like, no, you just don't expect that. Like, so you look at this guy and he's like this 30, 40-year-old something. He's something.
Are we gonna assume that this guy's heritage is strong?
Oh yeah. Not the good kind either.
Not the good kind of heritage.
But you know...
We don't support bigotry here on Podcastrophe.
No. My theory is this guy saw this girl and it was like, hey, this girl's pretty attractive. I'm going to add her and just creep all over her fucking profile.
I'm going to jack off with a belt around my neck.
Yeah, and like, so I'm just sitting here like, why is she friends with this person? I think the truth just came out to her because I'm guessing he's never responded or he's never commented on anything like this before. Thank God I stepped in because...
It's just really sad. It just goes to show how many people take time out of their day to be a fucking internet troll.
Oh, yeah.
Because none of that was warranted. That guy could have got up, started his day, ended his day, and not taken place in any of that. Not had to do with any of that.
Brandon, before I even said it, says, I bet he listens to Alex Jones.
That's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah,
but it's just fucking pathetic, man, because we as a society now, we're almost promoting to conduct ourselves that way.
Yeah.
Where, you know, our opinion is fact. And, you know, we need to... It's almost like, you know, missionaries back in the early days, like, your religion is wrong. We're going to kill you if you don't like our religion.
Yeah.
We don't like your religion. Civilization wiped out. We're almost to that point right now with opinions. And people follow so blindly. You know, some of what old Jimmy Mcclary was actually saying was actually correct, you know. Or I'm sorry, Jimmy, no credit towards Jimmy. He didn't say it. Whoever said, don't believe what you read on the internet. You know, like I said earlier with the net neutrality thing, do your own research, formulate your own opinions, and be your own person. Don't fucking watch Alex Jones and then think that you're a mastermind of political science. Do your own fucking research.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, there was some guy at work. I haven't seen this Jeep truck thing in a long time, but he had a giant fucking InfoWars sticker on his back on the back of his truck. Brandon will know who I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy's nuts. That guy is absolutely nuts, and I would hear him like fucking spewing his fucking Trump shit, like walking up down the aisleway up to work.
Jesus Christ, at work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Work is not a place for political discussions anyway.
No,
just
really
go to
isn't.
work and go home.
Oh boy, I have a new tag from Mr. Chris Charles in the latest in the Star Wars line. Austin is basically in this series. Austin is an agent of the dark side, and he has been tasked with finding me and killing me. I'm like one of the main characters, I guess. I'm the Luke of this series, and he is apparently the Darth Vader. Genie is apparently Obi-Wan. I don't know. This one he says, "Give me dick, or I'll show everyone unfiltered pics of your lady business."
It's the Sarlacc
He's
pit.
holding a fucking Polaroid and zooms in on the Polaroid, and it's the Sarlacc pit.
It's all spiky and shit.
Yeah, Genie's like, Austin, I'm about to fuck you up.
Lightsaber drawn.
Some of these, like this Doom Wars one, that's what it's called. It's called Doom Wars. It's been pretty good. I lost my helmet. I lost my bucket helmet. I can feel the power of the Force inside of me. Do you have an erection? Yeah, big time.
Me too. This is awesome.
My Force powers aren't strong enough to lift it. You focus you must. Cut the shit, asshole. I want my fucking ducky back.
These need to be on the Podcastrophe page.
Oh, yeah. Austin, you must seek out the rebel scum and bring them to me. Wouldn't it be easier if I just killed him? Damn it, Austin, just do it. Sounds dumb, but you're the boss. That's totally Austin. Like, he's got Austin's character perfect with his personality. Your lightsaber is an extension of your body. Is that why mine is short and fat? That's right, Dick. It's essentially a laser dong to fight other dudes with.
Nice.
Go inside and face your greatest enemy. Is it me? Do I have to face myself? Fuck. Yeah, damn it. I jack it a ton, so if you want me to do it in there, okay, but it's $20 if you're gonna watch. Great. Now I have to track down that pussy dick and his friends. I'm gonna find them and force choke their balls off. I was the first comment on this. I said more like he's gonna force choke on D's nuts.
Ooh, D's nuts, got him.
He comments on my comment saying the dark side doesn't have a gag reflex.
That's fucking great.
So he goes in. It shows him venturing into a cantina. A couple panels, he's quiet, and then does anyone know where I can find Dick? And it's a gay bar. Or something. It appears to be one. Tell me where Dick is, or I will show you the power of the dark side. Hey, look, it's Darth Dick Lover searching the Empire on an evil quest for Dick. I love these. I'll use the Force to pull your pussy lips over your head and suffocate you with your own snatch. That's not how the Force works, dipshit. Chris Charles comments the heavy breathing cat.
Is that actually your cat?
No. You know, fuck you.
Baxter's a fat piece of shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut you open and watch you bleed out. Well, actually, your lightsaber... well, actually... That's the name of it. Well, actually, your lightsaber would cauterize the wound so I wouldn't bleed. Dude, you're a fucking nerd. And we're current now. Yeah, I've been loving those comics ever since he started making them. Good times. Ugh. Sorry, I'm going over my fucking Facebook notifications. I'll stop now. Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Blaine.
On Journey into... Oh, Nate Phillips, you son of a bitch.
Facebook Live.
You
Got
son
him.
of a bitch.
Good job, Podfather. You did it.
Anyway, so Nate and Brando, I don't know if you're this far along, on Journey into Comics, episode 175 from earlier this week.
You said that like a douche.
They mentioned, or Brando mentioned, the idea that Matt and I came up with, which was...
Two dicks, no chicks?
No. Well, originally it was my idea, and then Matt expanded upon it. The idea was someone should Photoshop Tommy Wiseau with the Heath Ledger Joker smile.
Uh-huh.
And
I heard that on JIC.
Yeah, Wiseau, spelled Tommy's last name. Why so serious, Mark? Let's put smile on face.
Want to know how I got these scars?
Want to know how I got scar?
Oh, excuse me.
That's very funny. That's very funny story, Bruce. How's your sex life? Want to see pencil disappear? But no, I told Brandon. I told Matt, and then I told Brandon. I said, "Hey, dude, wouldn't it be funny if because he's always doing the Bane voice,
right?
And he always likes.
Brandon is really good at fucking impressions.
Dude, he's so good at impressions, but he always does the Bane voice, and he likes to quote other movies with the Bane voice,
right?
Or yeah, and then I was like, what if he did Tommy Wiseau as Bane? Like, he did Bane quotes in Tommy Wiseau and expand upon it further and do random movie quotes as Tommy Wiseau. So he was kind of doing a lot on the Journey into Comics episode, but I just thought it was funny.
I did too. I enjoyed it.
Good stuff. That was a really good episode this week. They kind of just wung it. They kind of winged it.
They wung it.
They wung it. They winged it and
some Mcclary vocabulary.
Yeah. Hey now. That was low. That was a low blow. Not respecting that heritage.
So is repealing net neutrality, but we're gonna do that.
So, next subject. What do you got for me?
Excuse me. I feel it's time to talk about some Den of Thieves.
Yes. Let's talk about that movie. That was a good movie.
So, my life partner, co-host of Podcastrophe, and I, Dick, DBT, Dongo, Dr. McStuffins, and I, went and saw Den of Thieves over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to do spoilers in this? Or just
I was going to try and keep it spoiler-free.
Okay.
Just because that movie's really, really new in the theaters still. And it's definitely worth... I've said my entertainment rant about justification of a movie ticket enough. Now I don't need to say it. It is more than worth $10 to go see that movie. Buy your ticket, buy your concessions. You will be entertained. There's some nice twists throughout the movie that you might not expect.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end. The cast is fantastic.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm always really, really... I really scrutinize people like 50 Cent when they're in movies.
Yeah, and his character was relatively, like, in the background.
Well, and they did, he's a supporting character.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like in the past, whenever they've had a big name, any type of musician venture into acting in Hollywood, even if they're cast as supporting characters, they try too much to be the center of attention in every scene. And with 50 Cent's character in this movie, they did such a good job keeping him in the background.
Yeah.
His dialogue was very limited.
So there was a scene with him, and I thought it had no place in the movie. I mean, it was funny.
You're talking about the garage scene?
Yeah, but it was completely useless, and, what the fuck
well,
was the point
it wasn't
of that?
useless. I I definitely agree with you that scene in particular was out of place. But at the same time, I feel like they were trying to use that scene to make the cast of characters more human.
Yeah.
And not just bank robbers. So, spoiler alert for anybody that can't gather this from the trailer. This movie is about a team of people that are trying to rob the Federal Reserve in California. The branch of the Federal Reserve in California. That's not spoiler-ish.
No, it's not. It's all in the trailer.
You can gather that from the trailer. So, and very few movies, I love bank robber movies.
Yeah.
Especially when the bank robbers win and they steal all the money. The Ocean series and Fast and the Furious somehow morphed into bank robber action movies, which I enjoy. I like the Fast and Furious franchise.
Same. Are they good movies? Okay, they're good, but are they like...
Are they blockbusters? Absolutely not.
Well, they're blockbusters, but they're not like good.
They're blockbusters when they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
they're good like summertime.
They're fun action movies. That's
right.
all they are.
There you go.
They're summer blockbusters.
But those movies always do a really good job. The Oceans and the Fast and the Furious, they spend a lot of time and effort on character development.
Mm-hmm.
And Den of Thieves is a standalone movie. It's a lot longer of a movie than I thought it was going to be. It's right around 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Throughout that 2.5 hours, they do a good amount of character development, but it's more on Gerard Butler's character.
Yes, and I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either.
I was expecting more Ice Cube's son being main character.
Me too. And it's really sad. You and I talked about this yesterday. I didn't realize that was Ice Cube's son.
Yeah.
Did a fantastic job in the movie, but I really wanted to talk about Gerard Butler's character, keeping it spoiler free. Gerard Butler is kind of the Sam Worthington syndrome. He did 300 and then he did a bunch of movies really close together and then just fucking disappeared.
Yeah.
What has he done the last 5 years?
London, Olympus Has Fallen and
London Has Fallen. Okay, there's 2.
Other than that, I don't really know.
So,
he did that Gods of Egypt movie.
Gerard Butler was in that?
I'm pretty sure he was. I'll do a little research real quick.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. I knew that it's basically a box office B movie, so I didn't really want to see it.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, he's right there. Okay.
Along with Nicolaj Coster-Waldau.
I like him.
Mr. Jamie Lannister.
But
before we move on, Brandon commenting on Jimmy Mcclary. Vocabulary. I don't want to kill you. You complete me. Anyway, go on.
This is not your typical bank robber movie.
No.
Like I said, with with the twists and a lot of stuff. They focus a lot on Gerard Butler's character. So small spoiler, Gerard Butler is the head of a special like anti-bank robber task force. Major crimes.
Yeah, they say that in the trailer. That's not a spoiler at all.
Oh, I never knew. Well, I'm saying small spoiler, so
Okay.
if people don't want to hear it, they can pause or skip or do something. But fuck off. But they spend a good portion of the movie focused in on him.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing the, all right, guys, let's gear up and go, let's stake out the Federal Reserve and let's rob it and, let's get away scot-free. You don't see a lot of that.
No, there's not a lot of casing.
No, and it's very anti-cliche for a bank robber movie.
To be fair, they even say it. You can't case the place.
Right.
They say that in the trailer, so that's not a spoiler. So I mean,
you must have seen a lot more trailers than I did, because the only trailer I've seen was almost no dialogue.
Every time I've seen a trailer for it, it's been at the theaters. Like, we saw it for Justice League.
Okay.
And a couple movies Miranda and I went and saw.
All right. Well, so yeah, you've definitely seen more trailers for it than I have then.
Gotta have that movie pass, man.
Oh, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Don't get me wrong.
It's so worth it.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Gerard Butler's character. My uncle called me yesterday, and we were talking about it a little bit, and he's like, "Well, is he good cop or is he bad cop?" And I was like, "He's a dude.
He's ride the line cop.
He's but he deals with a lot of emotional anguish
that was surprising.
And real life stuff throughout the movie that you don't normally get. And I appreciated that.
Yeah, that side of it was rather surprising for me. I was expecting him to, just be Billy Badass the whole movie.
Right.
Gerard
Butler's starting to show his age a little bit.
Yeah, he is. And he wasn't exactly no fucking young chicken.
Right.
Spring chicken, is that the term?
Spring chicken.
Yeah, he wasn't no spring chicken in 300.
Right.
But one thing, I would like to, I don't know if it was directed by the same person. I can't remember who directed this movie.
Why don't I just use my phone and I'll tell you?
Go for it.
Continue.
But I found there were a lot of moments in there that reminded me of the movie American History X. I don't know. The way it was shot reminded me of it.
I was going to say that the cinematography was definitely similar.
Oh, yeah. Like, if the way it was shot definitely reminded me of it, but also it might just be the location, because they were on, like, the Venice Beach, like, L.A. area.
They were in Southern California.
Yeah, Southern California, so, like, but...
Christian Gudgast, or Gudegast.
And who did American History X?
I'm getting there next.
Okay. But yeah, I couldn't help, but I couldn't stop thinking, man, this was reminding me a lot of American History X. And that's a good thing, because that's, if I could make a top 20, 25, American History X is definitely in there somewhere. Maybe higher up, maybe not. I don't know.
Definitely Edward Norton's top 3 films he's ever done.
Oh, for sure. I would give it his number 1 for me.
Nope, not same guy. Tony Kaye did American History X.
Nah.
But kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. Yeah, they a lot of the cinematography, the angles they shot from, everything is very crisp and clean almost throughout the entire movie. And I'm not talking just the movie quality. The sets are, there's a scene where they're in a strip club, and the strip club looks like you could eat off the floor.
Yeah.
So a little, if you really want to nitpick the movie from somebody who's lived in Southern California, that is not what Southern California looks like. Especially the some of the major areas that they were in, they do not look like that. But throughout the movie, and a lot of time, and I've said it before, a lot of times when I'm in a movie, I can't shut my brain off. I'm nitpicking everything, and I was entertained enough and drawn in enough that I didn't have to do that, and I really appreciated that.
For sure.
I figured you would have more to say about Den of Thieves.
You know, like, without going into spoilers, not really. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed it. I'll buy it when it comes out.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. Gerard Butler's performance in this movie was awesome. I really enjoyed the character of Merriman. Merriman.
I like it. I like the actor.
What else has he been in?
I don't know. I'll tell you in just a second. Back to Google.
But no, I liked his character because, you know, he's very aloof. He's not, despite being basically like the main villain.
Well, Gerard Butler is the villain.
Really? What?
Think about it. You're following the cast of the bank robbers. They are your anti-heroes. Gerard Butler is the villain in the way of them being successful.
Okay.
That's the viewpoint that you're supposed to watch. That
See,
type of movie
I viewed it from he's the anti-hero.
Pablo Schreiber is his name.
Okay. Well, what's he been
Canadian American. He's been in Orange is the New Black.
Who did he play in that?
I don't know.
Because I'm caught up on Orange
American Gods. He played Mad Sweeney in American Gods. The Wire, Weeds, The Brink. Doesn't look like he's been in a whole lot.
I can't think of who he is in Orange is the New Black. That sucks because I like that show. Every time I saw him, I was like, I recognize this motherfucker. But no, I really liked his character, whether he was a villain or not. I considered him kind of one because, to an extent, you don't want him to win.
No, see, I didn't get that. I wanted them to rob that fucking Federal Reserve.
I did too,
from the
for sure, because I'm rooting for Ice Cube Jr. But Merriman, I did not want him to win, but I like him.
Okay.
I like him, but I know as a movie watcher, I don't want him to win.
Okay. He is George Pornstache.
Oh, holy shit, that's him?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, he got fucking ripped, and he looks nothing like that. I'll pull up a picture real quick. We're gonna.
Yeah, I really like him. I hope that as the
it's literally I type in porn and put ST and it goes porn. It immediately pulls up Pornstache Orange is the New Black. And I'll go ahead and pop this up for everybody to see.
Here you go. That's courtesy of the Podfather.
I mean, okay, I like what you did, but I more so just want the Joker's smile over. Hold on, I'll once again switch this over to us. Let me see cellular device. He took the actual Heath Ledger Joker, and yeah, and he put it over. He put it over the balcony or the rooftop from the room. But no, I was more so saying like let's put smile on face.
Smile on face.
No, I was more so saying like just put the smile, like take the red scar smile,
right,
and throw that over Tommy Wiseau. But regardless, awesome. Yeah. No, okay, so back to
Pablo Schreiber.
Back to him. I really enjoyed his character because he was really aloof. He didn't talk much.
Not a lot of dialogue.
He had a plan, and he had a way of executing. There was like a certain level of I'm drawing a blank on the word, but like professionalism.
Okay.
He was very professional. He knew what the fuck he was doing. Very skilled. Yeah, I mean, and
a lot of tact.
A lot of tact. Yes. So yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. Him and that movie.
That's all I have to say about that.
I definitely thought the one dude. But I really definitely thought the one dude was gonna die really fast because he's the guy from 8 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
Cheddar Bob. I thought it was funny that they brought up a misfire or someone getting shot or somebody shooting himself.
It was kind of a cool little Easter egg, whether it was intentional or not.
But yeah, I like the movie. Solid movie. 5 out of 7.
Yeah, I was
Would
gonna say, are
recommend.
you gonna give this fucking movie a 5 out of 7?
I'll give it a 5 out of 7. Recommend.
I rate things on a out of 10 scale, and I'm gonna give this movie a solid 7.9 out of 10.
Solid. 7.9.
Solid 7.9. Solid.
Solid would say like maybe like a solid, like an actual like.
I don't
No
know.
point.
I don't know that I need to
No point.
I don't
just
know that I need to debate
number.
semantics with you.
Hold on, it's happening. You're getting the semantics right now. I'm almost out of beer.
You're gonna semantic my fist.
Oh.
Anyway.
Anyway. What else you got to talk? I'm all out of topics myself.
So, let me pull my list up again. Because like I said, I did my due diligence and I made a list so I didn't forget.
I do remember one thing.
Why do you do this?
So at least
Why you do this?
This will be a short one.
Okay.
So I was discussing something. Matt and Eddie at work were discussing.
Okay.
They're discussing the rise and decline of Mars.
I'm really glad that you didn't forget to bring this up because it was great.
So they were talking about how Mars was once a planet much like our own, and the civilizations that popped up, they were once skinny and athletic, fit, whatever you want to call it.
Like I used to be in my teens.
And slowly they discovered like food and shit, like bad food.
You're saying they discovered the Royale with cheese.
Yeah. and they started getting fatter and fatter, and the fatter they got, it slowly started slowing down the rotation of Mars. And because of the slow rotation of Mars, it started depleting the ozone layer.
Okay.
And that dried everything up and more harmful UV. And so the people that they saw it coming, they're like, okay, we're still skinny. We need to get the fuck out of here. These fat fucks can just die. So so skinny. I'm paraphrasing like a motherfucker right now.
Right.
I'm trying to remember it all. But so skinny people get on a ship and they take off and go to Earth. It's all lush and beautiful and full of resources. And
dinosaurs and shit.
Prosper. And so they take off to Earth and they start human population on Earth.
Okay.
So fast forward a little bit, we are the descendants of those fucking Mars humans.
The ones who came before?
Yes. We are the ancestors. We are the predecessors, ancestors, whatever words.
We're the descendants.
We're the descendants. Yeah, I already said that. So
come on, Jimmy
we're back
Mcclary.
On it.
Triggered.
But we are the descendants of these pre-fat Mars humans.
Uh-huh.
And so we, having no knowledge of Mars, we have all these theories of Mars, much like this one. And so we discover the burgers.
The burgs. The boogers.
The boogers.
The boogers.
The booger. We discover fast food and
then you have this.
And what's that fucking super salt? MGM or MG?
MSG.
MSG. We discover
monosodium
MSG.
glutamate.
We discover MSG and just fuck up our whole body, all of our bodies.
It's actually a meat tenderizing agent, by the way.
Did you ever watch that show Raising Hope? Fucking hilarious
I don't
show.
know.
Watch it. You will fucking love it.
All right.
It was a show on Fox. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but
the hell's it about?
This kid Jimmy, he's an idiot. Ends up knocking up a chick. Turns out she's a fucking serial killer. And so she goes to prison. He finds out she's pregnant. So she gets executed, and he has to raise the kid. He's an idiot, and his parents are idiots.
Okay. I remember when the pilot for that aired.
Holy fuck, that show is funny.
All right.
Anyway, so one of the episodes, he's got to sell candy for his daughter, or it's like a fundraiser thing. And so he's like, he asks his parents for help. They're like, oh yeah, we don't actually sell the stuff that they give you. We replace it with our own stuff, and put MSG in it. It's like, oh yeah, everybody fucking loved it, and they flocked over here. We made so much money off that shit.
God damn.
And it's like they just put MSG in chocolate. It's fucking crazy.
It is an addictive
But so
substance.
back to Mars theory. So this is where so at some point my theories come in. So we discover MSG, we start getting fat, and then as we notice, the rotation of the Earth slows down by like point blah 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 blah, blah some number every year, and so we're heading in the direction of Mars. So I jump in, and I say, well, actually, I see a plot hole. I see a hole in this little theory of yours. Most of the fat people on the Earth
are in America.
Yes, it's very concentrated in America.
America.
And as most scholarly people and hopefully normal people know, the Earth is on a tilted axis. Correct?
Correct.
So it rotates like this.
Wait a minute, the Earth is flat.
Shut the fuck up. Jimmy
right.
Mcclary. Ice wall. Stupid as shit. So, okay, so the Earth is rotating. Let me try to point this at the camera. Like this, not like this. Not vertical, it's tilted. So all the weight being distributed
in America.
all them fatties in America. It's all in one spot. So it's kind of like a fucking roller coaster effect, right?
Right.
So as the Earth is rotating on its daily rotation, it gets to one point, like America is on the top, and then all the weight just rockets it down. So if anything,
that's why there's so little time before we have to go back to work.
True.
That's why
fat people.
That's fuck me. Fat people.
I don't consider you fat, Tyler.
Well, I appreciate that.
You're not fat. You're
Just
husky.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, you're just a piece of shit. But yeah, that was my theory to derail their theory.
So real quick, because I mentioned it while you were going through that theory.
Mm-hmm.
How fucked up is it that people actually believe the fucking Earth is flat? We are in fucking 2018, and people honestly believe that the fucking Earth is flat.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that?
Yeah.
Never once in my fucking life have I said, you know what? I don't believe science. The fucking Earth's flat.
Yeah.
Not one time.
I've never once, as soon as I found out that the Earth was round, which I never even thought about it until then,
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, this is a planet. That's pretty cool. Round.
And then, you
sphere.
said, you figure out that it's on a tilted axis.
Yeah.
So it's actually
Like, I just, as a
rotating
kid,
like
I
this.
never even thought about that shit. I'm just like, oh shit, I'm here. That's all I thought about. I exist. And then I go to school. That fucking crazy thing.
That fucking school.
That fucking school. Their
SKOOL.
With them their fucking words and their arithmetics.
Teacher ladies.
Teacher lady. That damn old teacher lady trying to learn me fucking arithmetic. But
God,
so
the
I go to
heritage is
school.
strong in this one.
I go to school and these motherfuckers teach me, holy shit, I'm on a planet. And this planet is fucking spherical.
And it's spinning.
That's how we get night and day.
At fucking gravity.
And gravity.
Gravity?
I'm trying to heritage the shit out of
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Then looking further than that, I start learning the history of people learning about this shit.
Right.
People at one point were like, yeah, bro, this shit's flat.
You fucking sail off the end of it.
You will, if you fucking keep going, you're done. You're going to sail off the end of it and you're fucked. Don't do that.
No coming back. No coming back from that.
And then somebody was like, okay, I won't do that. But how are we going to get to over here? So then
I'm just going to go sailing.
Later on, some guy's like, so I'm looking up here in the sky and I see this other shit and it looks a lot like our shit, but different colors and whatnot. I don't think We are the only one of us. I think we're on a thing called a planet. We're just gonna call this a planet. Yeah, we're gonna call it a planet.
And it's not flat.
And there's another one up there, and it's really round. It's really round.
And there's that whole moon thing. It's round.
Yeah, we got this moon thing we see every day and night. It's up there.
It's round.
And it's round. And just like the way things are kind of going around it, I don't think it's flat. I think they're spheres. This thing we discovered not long ago. Those balls we've been talking about.
Balls!
those balls! We've been tossing around and shit, for our own.
I've been playing with those balls for years.
Yeah, those are called spheres. We're gonna we just discovered this. And then, this is like an episode of Drunk History.
A little bit.
Just sober. And then, so, I think we're on this thing. But, all these things, they're following us in the sky. I think they're circling us. I think we are the center of everything. So.
Fuck yeah, we are.
And then fast forward a couple more years, and there's some other guys that sun... that thing that gives us all this light and heat and shit, I think we're going around that.
Hey, I believe you that the Earth isn't flat, but I'm pretty sure we're spinning around that thing.
Yeah. But we're flat. Yeah, for sure. Still, I mean, I just really don't think you should try it, man.
Can you scroll down on the comments? My Aunt Stephanie from... Yep, there she is.
Yep.
Love you, Steph. That's my Aunt Stephanie in California.
Very nice. We were just talking about California.
Yes, we were. Anyway.
Pineapples and
cocaine. Bank robbing.
Yeah, after a certain point, the chat feed doesn't scroll.
Right.
It just stops for whatever reason. So whatever. That's cool, I guess.
Anyway, we've talked enough about the Earth.
I think so. Point is, fat people are speeding up the Earth's rotation in intervals. It's a roller coaster. They go up and then back down to the bottom. They go up and then back down, and it's a slow and then fast and then slow and fast. Yeah. Heritage.
That's a heritage right there.
So back to your list of things you wanted to talk about that I interrupted.
No, you're all right. This is your show, man. I'm the co-pilot.
Tyler, I've told you, this is our show.
I appreciate that.
Ours. This is just as much your heritage as mine.
So, real quick, I wanted to talk a little bit about two major mainstream bands.
Yes.
The Chili Peppers and the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
My point about the Chili Peppers, I was listening to them on the radio on the way here, and like I said earlier, I don't listen to the radio a lot when I'm cruising around, just because I'm listening to podcasts more times than not anymore. Say whatever you want about the Peppers, you have to appreciate them for the fact that they have never changed their style.
Yeah, for sure.
They have stayed true to who they are, and they do what they want, and they've stayed badass the whole time.
I'm not a giant Peppers fan.
Oh, I'm not either. Don't get me wrong.
I like a few songs.
You're telling
overall,
but what I'm saying is, if you're driving around and you're listening to Radio Rock, and the Chili Peppers come on, you're not changing the station just because the Chili Peppers
yeah, fucking
came
Under
on.
the Bridge or Other Side pops on. Hell yeah, Scar
Fucking
Tissue.
Californication.
Californication. That was the first song I ever heard by them.
That's top 3 greatest songs they've ever done.
Yeah, just overall, for them. On me. Foo Fighters, however, I fucking love the Foo Fighters, and I was watching their documentary on Netflix, Back and Forth.
Mm-hmm.
So good. It goes over the entire history of the band, what all they've done, how they did shit.
Is it mostly centered on Dave Grohl?
I mean, he is the Foo Fighters. He's the founder of the Foo Fighters. He is the essence of the Foo Fighters.
He doesn't play all the instruments. So.
No, he doesn't. But the whole thing is based around his idea.
I understand that.
Of what the Foo Fighters is. But you're right. They are a band. and that's not lost on him either.
Right. I'm not saying it is. Don't get me wrong.
But yeah, I guess it is kind of Dave Grohl centric. But that's not a bad thing. I mean,
Okay, so here's why I made that comment. I have a lot of really good friends that are big Foo Fighters fans.
Mm-hmm.
And through years of having conversations with them about the Foo Fighters, their number one focus all the time is Dave Grohl. And I don't feel like that's right. Obviously, it's his creative genius driving this force, and he started this fucking thing to begin with. But Dave Grohl is not all of the Foo Fighters to me.
No.
Just because he's not doing everything. If it was just him up there like Bob Dylan with a harmonica, a harmonica apparatus and bagpipes or a fucking accordion in front of him and playing guitar with his feet and everything, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl is one of a kind. That guy fucking broke his leg and finished a fucking tour.
And then did you see the rest of the pictures where he's sitting on the throne?
Yeah, he's sitting on a fucking throne.
He created a throne for it.
Hats off to you, Dave Grohl, for being a fucking badass.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it if it hasn't already been said. He is the king of rock and roll today.
You're saying this generation?
Yeah. Current gen, he is the current gen king of rock and roll, not pop. Right now, there's this for a while it was Michael Jackson, obviously,
king of pop,
and then Mr. Justin Timberlake popped in. He is definitely the king, but however, he has a contender in Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. That's how I see it. But no, king of rock and roll. Definitely Dave Grohl.
I would disagree with you, except the former king, in my opinion, passed away last year. Or 2 years ago. Chris Cornell.
That was last year.
Last year. Chris Cornell is 10 times the front man that Dave Grohl ever will be.
I don't know.
Stage performance, Dave Grohl's definitely got him. Presence, Dave Grohl's definitely got him. Singing ability, Chris Cornell blows him out of the water.
I think they're on even ground.
I don't think so.
To be honest.
Chris Cornell had the voice of a fucking angel.
He did. He is very talented. I wish I would have been more of a fan of Soundgarden.
And Audioslave. And Temple of the Dog. And all the projects that he did.
I wish I had been more of a fan of those. And been more familiar with their work other than Black Hole Sun.
Right.
That's honestly it.
Really?
But I love that song.
If you're ever bored and you want to check out some really good tunes, tangent obviously from Dave Grohl, pull up Spotify, pull up Chris Cornell, and listen to his solo stuff. The guy was an amazing songwriter, obviously a songbird, and his solo stuff is out of this world. But
I think I have heard some of it. Just I didn't hear it enough to commit it to memory. So,
like I said though, don't get me wrong. I love Dave Grohl. When I listen to Queens of the Stone Age or Foo Fighters, I'm listening to the band. I'm not super focused on Dave Grohl. Obviously, he's the front man. He's the center. He's the creative genius. But I'm not Dave Grohl fanboy. I like the Foo Fighters. I like Queens of the Stone Age.
Because I'm also not. I love the Foo Fighters, but that's another discography I haven't delved into.
Right.
Besides their hits, and honestly,
but that's the thing about the Foo Fighters. All their shit is hits. All of it.
Yeah.
They don't make anything bad.
And the crazy thing is, like, one of their albums they recorded in a studio, didn't release it, and then they went on a tour. He did drumming for Queens of the Stone Age.
Right.
They came back to it, had a giant fight. They're like, "Hey, let's just go." He said, "Let's just go back to my house in Virginia and record. Let's go record in the basement." and they re-recorded that album in his basement for free on his own, like, just paying the electric bill.
Right.
And it sounded better.
Right.
And, like, that's the version they released. They're like, the difference between this, all I am, or all my life, and all my life, this one cost $1 million. This one was recorded in 30 minutes.
Right. That's one of the things that's cool about the Foo Fighters, though, is they're about as grassroots as you can get.
Yeah.
Because, like you just said, they're recording shit in fucking Dave Grohl's basement, which I'm sure is a fucking acoustic dream because he's fucking a millionaire. But that's
at that time, no.
That's one of the things that's really cool about the Foo Fighters.
Fast forward later in that documentary, they're like, I want to record a CD in my garage. So, and by that point, he wasn't in Virginia, he was in California, and he got Vig from the fucking Nevermind,
right?
The guy who recorded Nevermind. He got him to record that, and he's like, you know what? I want to record on tape, completely analog, no digital, and that's awesome.
That's one of the really cool things about Dave Grohl. He was a part of a band that has one of the largest cult followings of all time, in Nirvana. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we lost Kurt Cobain, and then Nirvana died. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, what am I going to do now? I guess I'm going to make two of the most successful rock bands of all time. And he fucking did it, and he nails it.
Yeah.
And he's a cool dude.
I did learn something about Nirvana in that documentary, because in the beginning they start out with Nirvana, obviously. Right. But I never knew that they brought in a second guitarist.
Really?
Yeah. Towards the end there, I can't remember his name. It's like Pat or something. But yeah, he was in another famous punk band before that, and so they brought him in. And then he eventually moved on to Foo Fighters, left Foo Fighters, and they brought him back as a third guitarist for Foo Fighters.
That's cool. I need to check that documentary out.
It's very worth it, and it's funny, and you get a lot of the Foo Fighters story. And the thing I love about I love watching rock docs, band documentaries.
Oh, they're great.
Kill Switch Engage, Set This World Ablaze, awesome documentary. All of the Lamb of God DVDs, Walk With Me in Hell, Philadelphia, fucking great shit. All the Pantera home videos, of course. Vision.
Real quick, you know what I really miss?
What?
The old VH1 Behind the Music shit.
Yeah, I miss that shit too.
I used to watch that shit every week, and it was great stuff.
Yeah, I love that shit. The only time I've ever cried watching a show, or up until this is gay as AIDS, watched How I Met Your Mother. I almost cried a bit in that. What?
Put your hand out.
However, the only time I've actually ever cried watching a TV show was the Pantera Behind the Music.
Yeah, that was a really sad one. Dimebag, R.I.P. R.I.P. my man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so... Ow! And another one of my favorite band documentaries, there's two of them by this band, Parkway Drive. Their first band documentary, which actually goes over the history of the band.
Okay.
It's literally just called The DVD.
That's kind of cool.
The next one by them is called Home is for the Heartless, after their song Home is for the Heartless. And that was a really cool DVD. It was a tour. It was a look into their tours where they tour around the world. And what I like about that one is it's not about the music. I mean,
just about them.
It's littered with like some of their performances here and there and showing their performances around the world. But it's just about them going to each of these cities and just experiencing each stop. Mm-hmm. You know, and they spend like 2-3 days in each stop when they do these tours, so they can really get the area.
Right.
You know, and so those are both really worth a watch, especially Home is for the Heartless, whether you're a fan of the band or not.
I'll check it out.
It's really good. I have it somewhere. I'll have to dig that out.
I have somewhere.
But yeah,
Tommy
definitely.
Wiseau.
Huh?
I said Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau. I don't really got much to talk about. I feel like we should talk about some Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
before we close
I
out.
was gonna save Monster Hunter till the very end.
Yeah.
Just because, as of the recording of this podcast, we are now, pretty much 24 hours away from getting Monster Hunter. Blaine and I will be at the 9 p.m. release.
Yeah.
To receive our copies of Monster Hunter. Play a little bit before we got to work on Friday. I don't know if you've announced this at all yet, but we are going to try our hand in a little bit of Twitch streaming Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
We have 2 separate Twitch accounts. Is yours called Podcastrophe?
Yeah, mine is just Podcastrophe. Let me look real quick on my phone. On the cellular device.
So while he's looking at his, our plan is to Twitch stream Monster Hunter World primarily from the start. We're going to do it together. So we've got the Podcastrophe Twitch account. And then we also have my Twitch account, which is Finnegan_McNasty. We thought that doing the Twitch thing would be a good pairing with the podcast.
Yes.
And we both love Monster Hunter. I play a lot more video games than you do, but I feel like
Monster Hunter's my shit.
I was going to say, I feel like your video game playing is going to increase to 11 here soon with Monster Hunter World coming out tomorrow evening.
While we're on this subject, my good friend Matt Wilcox of Innator Zim, he Twitch streams and stuff, so it's kind of relevant. He texted me a little bit ago, said, "Hey, you and Austin should come up this weekend and hang out." And if you're still watching, because I saw you in here earlier, I just texted you saying I'm unavailable, LOL. But I'm going to tell you why I'm unavailable. Because I'm playing fucking Monster Hunter
Monster Hunter, bro.
I don't give a shit about anything this weekend. I'm playing Monster Hunter.
That's right.
That is my life this weekend. Except for like a little... I'm going to dinner with my dad. And
obviously, we have to eat and shit.
Going to dinner with my dad and girlfriend and her kids. And it's going to be a good time. I'm going to care about that. But other than that, Monster Hunter!
Heritage! So, yeah, we're really excited to... diversify the podcast a little bit.
I'm really hoping that the Twitch stuff kicks off. I'm really hoping it actually works,
As far as being able to do it
Yeah.
or people watching it?
Being able to do it both, yeah.
Both?
I'm hoping to eventually, once I get a better space, to actually have my podcasting space also be like a gaming space as well. That way I can do both.
The reason I brought it up in the way that I did is... for any of the listeners that want to check out or are interested in Monster Hunter World before they buy it, or just want to check out some cool Twitch streams. Obviously, this is our Twitch streaming careers in its infancy, so everything's not going to be, $1,000 production quality.
No.
But the cool thing is you'll be able to see both of us, and you'll be able to check out gameplay from 2 different perspectives.
Yes.
So if you want to... The way that Blaine and I play, especially Monster Hunter, is a little bit different. We have different approaches to how we take on things. So that will be kind of cool if you guys want to check it out from 2 different perspectives. But moving on from the Twitch thing, let's talk about some actual Monster Hunter.
My Twitch account is Podcastrophe. So definitely check that out. Follow it. Sub it. I don't know if they can sub it yet.
Not yet. We don't have enough followers.
I guess don't sub it yet.
But yeah,
eventually...
give both of our channels a follow and look forward to some cool Monster Hunter stuff here in the next couple months.
I'll be on there.
We will be on there.
We will both be on there. Probably playing together.
Yep.
More than likely.
Yep. Anyway, so Monster Hunter, we're, like I said, almost 24 hours away from receiving the game.
They're doing a 9 p.m. release at GameStop,
which I think's really cool. I've been to a lot of midnight releases in my video game playing career, and it was always pretty miserable because you had to go to work the next day, or school. But enough GameStop workers complained that they're like, all right, well, we'll just release the game a couple hours early, which is really cool because you don't have to wait. You can go home and start playing it right away. You don't have to wait till midnight. So kudos to you, GameStop, the old Devil's Playground. My cousin yelled Monster Hunter. Yeah, kudos to you, GameStop, the old Devil's Playground, for listening to your workers and your customers on getting shit out a little bit early. And you and I talked a little bit about today about what we're looking forward to most as far as monster roster goes. And I was going to read the two that I had off while I'm looking up the names because they're new monsters. What's your thoughts?
As in terms of like what I'm looking forward to monster wise, I'm really looking forward to fighting the good old Rathian.
One of my favorite original monsters.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to fighting her. She is the female counterpart to the Rathalos, which is like the flagship monster of the whole series. I'm really looking forward to fighting her because she's not. The Rathalos is considered the air, like he flies around a lot, while she is on the ground a lot. So she's easier to be more aggressive with, you know.
When the status effects are drastically different between Rathalos and Raytheon, you really have to watch out for the Raytheon's poison. And with the Rathalos, you know, it's more raw damage with fire. And
but he does have that poison attack, and I think that one's more dangerous.
I do too.
Because one, it's like a fucking homing missile.
Yeah, he's going to hit you if he wants to hit you.
Yeah, you got to fucking be great with the jumping out of the way timing. You got to be great with the fucking blocking if you're going to do that. It also, it takes a ton of stamina to block. If it does hit you, not only does it poison you, but it knocks you out. So you're left open for a few seconds. But yeah, Rathian, that one's fun. I'm looking forward. You know, I don't know who I'm looking forward to in terms of the monsters, in terms of actually fighting them. But I'm really interested in the turf wars.
Yeah, me too.
Especially with the Elder Dragons.
I saw something today that I was a little bit disappointed on. The fact that it said there's a maximum of 3 monsters on the map at a time. But the cool thing about that is if you're on an expedition. So now in Monster Hunter World, you have the ability to go on expeditions. So after you finish a quest, or from the hub town, if you just want to go on one of these expeditions, you have unlimited lives, unlimited time in any of these zones that you want to venture into. So say you go into the forest, the ancient forest, and there's a Great Jagras, Anjanath, and a Rathalos on the map. If you are there for, say, 45 minutes, I don't know the actual time, I just know it's a decent amount of time. If you're on there for 45 minutes, one of those monsters has the potential of leaving. And then another monster will immediately come in.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep, I saw that today. So say you're going to just kind of farm some other monsters, and the monsters that you don't want to hunt.
I'm assuming if you kill one of those monsters too.
Yes, if you kill one of the current monsters on the map, another one will come in to replace it. Because it's kind of cool, you know, you and I have talked about the whole ecosystem thing. It makes sense. You take out a major predator, another predator is going to move in to take its place. So I thought that was really cool. I am looking forward to, as far as monsters go, I never had the opportunity to fight the Anjanath, or no, I'm sorry, not Anjanath, the Devil Joe in previous games.
Fuck that thing.
I never played on handheld, so I never got to experience Devil Joe.
Devil Joe sucks.
I'm really excited to give old Anjanath a shot. There was a monster. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna say, as far as large size monsters go, Devil Joe is definitely it. There was a smaller monster that was very similar to a Velocidrome that I saw in a video yesterday. It has the body profile of a Velocidrome, but when it came into the map, it was like, fuck all y'all, and flash bombed everybody from the frills on its head. So as a small to medium monster, small to medium boss type monster, I thought that would be kind of cool. You know, I got really tired in 3 Ultimate of the Yaggies and the Baggies and the
Yeah.
Snaggies. So I look forward to actually having unique, smaller, or unique medium difficulty monsters, I want to say. So that's my little spiel.
Real quick, I have a video I want to show, and this involves Devil Joe. You'll like this. It's a classic that I was shown by my friend Scott,
Okay.
who never played Monster Hunter, by the way. He just found it and sent it to me.
All right.
But check this out. It's from Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
Is that the highest resolution we got?
Yeah.
Damn. It.
The old Giganox.
Also only does it when I'm like in need of reload. You fat ass baggy.
It's the most day of my life.
Oh god, I keep getting rim pressed.
Jesus Christ. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I had to show you that since you're talking about Devil Joe. I don't know if you've ever seen his gameplay, but yeah, that's
That's cool.
but he's like
Worst day of my life.
So like the thing about Devil Joe is he just comes in. He can show even if you're not actually on a quest to kill him, he'll just randomly appear. It doesn't there's no warning sometimes. And that's just what happened in that quest. Like he just happened to stumble upon him, and he's like, "Damn it!"
Well, the cool thing is now, you know, even though we're not going to be excited about running into him, because I'm sure he's going to be uber difficult.
Oh my god!
The cool thing is with the whole turf war mechanic, you know,
he might not be focused on you.
he's not going to. Well, as long as the monster is perceived as, or the current monster that you're fighting is perceived as more of a threat. Than you are, then he should focus his attention on said monster. So I look forward to fighting him just because I've never had the opportunity.
Yeah. It's, if I remember right, it's not exact. Well, I mean, things will be different this time around, but it's not exactly a very fun fight. And I'm not even talking about he's hard. It's not fun. No, it's just overall not a very fun fight in my opinion. He's a brute wyvern. So he'll have a lot more move. He'll have a lot of moves similar to Baroth,
Right.
so you might like that.
Which is my favorite monster.
Yeah,
in
you
the
might
series.
like that. But however, like I just did not enjoy that fight, and it was just really difficult.
Okay.
Even with 4 people, very difficult. A lot of health. He's a powerhouse, and he sucks. He fucking sucks.
We's gonna get him.
Yeah.
That was all I really had, man.
That's really all I got.
This was the Tyler's Topic show.
That's okay. I might be the creative force behind the production of this show, but you're definitely the creative force in terms of like topics.
I appreciate that.
And you know, like I appreciate that because I don't always have the best things to talk about. So
I don't even know if the shit I want to talk about is good. I just like to talk.
hell yeah, I like to talk too. Before we go, I picked up a couple CDs.
Ooh,
recently.
what we got here?
Well, I have another one that's not. I have it on vinyl and it's put away, but I got of Mice and Men's newest CD, Defy.
How's that?
It's really good. It's the first CD without their singer Austin Carlisle. See, before he left, it was him doing the main vocals, mostly screams, and then their bass player doing all the clean vocals, or most of the clean vocals.
Nice to see a bass player get some recognition.
Dude, and he's a really great singer. Well, Austin left, and now it's just the bass player doing all vocals, and including screams. And I didn't know he could scream, and turns out he's a fucking fantastic and rather unique screamer. So like, I dig it. I dig it a lot. It's a great CD of Mice and Men, Defy. Check it out. Next in line, I have, which I've only listened to a couple songs so far. It's off the CD. It's called Avatar Country by the band Avatar. It's a concept album about some king. It's basically like them talking about some war going on with some other king, and the person they got to play the king is one of their guitarists. So that's funny. The videos have been pretty funny, and it's basically like this. It's all saying the singer is basically like the guy's PR rep.
Okay.
And he's like talking to trying to hype people up for their king. So that's interesting. I like Avatar.
I haven't heard a lot of Avatar, but the stuff that I have heard, I've enjoyed.
It's interesting because they're from Stockholm, Sweden,
Right.
and I've seen them twice. First time was up in Fort Wayne, opening up for Mushroom Head. I went with my roommate, Captain Keyboard, and then it was just funny. Like, he never lives it down. Whenever I'm listening to him, he'll always like start quoting the singer from that show.
He peeks around the corner.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Bitcoin?
Oh my God. So he'll quote the singer. He'll be like, "How are we doing tonight, Fort Wayne?" Oh, and like he just like went this entire
Wait,
time.
is their front man Tommy Wiseau?
No.
Damn it.
But he emulates the Crow. It's cool. I don't. There's no pictures on that.
All right.
But he kept saying, "Do you like metal, Fort Wayne?" Every sentence ended with Fort Wayne. Then I saw him again. They headlined the next time I saw them, where we got this flag. That's where I got that from, signed and all that. That was in Indianapolis at the Vogue. That was a fun show.
Okay.
Both times, our group leader Desiree was there with us.
Ooh.
She likes going to shows and shit. She's actually the one who introduced me to Avatar.
That's cool.
Yep. So that's a fun CD. Hopefully, I can't wait. I like the songs I have heard. Can't wait to listen to the rest. Avatar Country by Avatar. The next CD that I recently purchased is, and I'm a little late to the game on this one. This came out 2 years ago now. And I never really listened to this band before, but I recently heard one of the songs off this, and I'm like, holy shit, I really like it. It's Thrice from their 2016 album, To Be Everywhere
is to be nowhere.
Yeah, that. And
I've always really liked Thrice, and
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite Thrice albums.
did they do Artist in the Ambulance?
I think so.
Yeah, that's the only other song I know by them, and it was okay. But I love this CD. The first song I heard off of it was Black Honey, and I actually heard that on Sirius XM.
Black Honey's a great fucking song.
A year after that came out, not what I expected, but Seether covered it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just like an acoustic show thing. They're like, ha ha ha, we're going to do this because we like the song. So, no, they cover it regularly, because when I saw them in Indy last summer, they covered it. And I'm like, really? You're going to play that? But, I mean, they do a really good job. So it kind of made me question, like, did they help write it or something? No, they're literally just covering it.
Yep.
Which is so weird, like a year after and so closely related.
Current day Thrice is a lot different than
I
early
noticed.
day Thrice.
Miranda pointed out that the singer sounds a lot like Dave Grohl.
He can at times.
Yeah, he can, definitely. Normally I don't agree with her when she says, "Oh, this sounds like this," and I fight her about it. But this one, I had to agree. I had to agree. But the other song, the song that made me want to get this album was called Hurricane.
Yep, that's a good one.
First song on the album. I love that song. So
I was really happy with that. Have you listened to the whole album?
yes,
I was really happy with that whole album. I was when that album came out. I've been looking forward to a good Thrice album for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And from when I got that CD, or when I downloaded it on Spotify, I never, a lot of times you get an album and you're like, okay, I'm going to skip this song and listen to the next one. Never once did I want to skip through any of the songs. I just listened to the whole album all the way through.
yeah, it's a really fucking good
and I've
album.
really enjoyed it. So I was really impressed.
My three favorites on this are Hurricane, Black Honey, so singles so far, and Stay With Me.
I'll say that's my three favorite too.
Partners.
Potness.
Heritage! Yeah. Well, that's really all I got
That's all
for
I
this
got.
show. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. Guys, if you're not already, please subscribe to the Journey into Comics Network. All you got to do is go to Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, other platforms, and then you subscribe to Journey into Comics. And you get Journey into Comics. You get this amazing show. Oh, okay, I wouldn't go as far as amazing, but it's a fun show. You'll enjoy it. It's a blast to do. You get Podcastrophe. You get the Poor Report. You get
Journey into Wrestling.
Journey into Wrestling. You get Foodies Watching Movies, The Voice of Survival, literature.
Poor Report.
I think I didn't say the Poor
I
Report.
don't know if you said it
I
or
think I
not.
said it. The rundown gets fucking...
Why so serious?
You get butt stuff. And last but not least, you get Brews with Dudes. And, we have one more show on the network that has its own feed, and that is Game Addicts. Go give them a like and subscribe. You can catch us, Podcastrophe, live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Sometimes we'll start a little early for a little pre-show, have a little fun there. Join us there every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Look forward here in the near future to us doing our Twitch streaming stuff.
Yes. If you want, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/journeyintocomics. For $1, you get early access to all the shows as soon as they are edited and available. And for $3, you get bonus content. And right now, we are doing a special thing until Avengers Infinity War. Every week, we are releasing another... every show has their own movie to review in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And every week, in order until Avengers Infinity War, we are reviewing a movie. So you and I, we are going to do...
Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange.
Yes. And so look for that. Just $3, you get to hear us talk about that shit. Just $3. That's like 2 pops. It's less than a pack of cigarettes if you smoke.
Less than a can of Heritage if you dip that good leaf.
Yeah. So hit us up.
Check us out.
Check us out. Eventually there might be more stuff on the Patreon. Eventually, Podcastrophe will probably have its own Patreon, and I won't even be supporting the network Patreon.
We're always going to be supporting the
fuck
network.
them. No, I won't. I love the network. I love everybody on the network. They're so great, and they're so kind, and they're so insightful and helpful and supportive. So thank you, everyone on the network, for being there when we need you, and
Here.
for being awesome all around and putting out great content.
Thanks for letting degenerates like me talk on the podcast.
Yes. Thanks for allowing this bullshit show to happen. But that is all. That is all. Tyler, thank you for once again joining me.
Thanks
my
for
co-host.
allowing me back from the dead.
And if that is it, that is it. That is all. That is all.
I say good day.
I say good day. Please, everybody, make every day a big dick day.
Heritage!
Heritage!
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girlie's to the right of me, just like I planned. It's gonna be a big dick day. 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 Big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day.